Welcome back to my favorite time of the year, PDAC. 2026, we're here with Terry Lynch from Power Metallic. How are you, sir?
Good, Peter. Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Every week I get an email from you containing a new news release.
We're busy. We're busy.
You're doing a lot of work.
You know what? When you're drilling 100,000 meters, you're going to have some results.
100,000?
Yeah.
And that's not on the property you spun out to crystallize some value.
No.
This is all your lion.
The core stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so where's the lion property?
Lion's in Quebec, just outside of Nemaska, so about just south and east of James Bay.
Lots of infrastructure for you?
Lots of infrastructure. Drive to it right off of route north, right to the rig.
Isn't that nice?
8 clicks outside the town of Nemaska, which has got a regional airport. All good.
You recently put out one that had some huge intercepts.
Yep.
Now, they're equivalents, and I like the way your QP has done the equivalents.
Yep.
One of my pet peeves in the mining industry is people who play games with their EQs, and these are done well.
Yes, yeah, no, we do it the right way.
They're impressive, and big numbers.
You know what? It's been an amazing journey. This discovery. This is more of the same. But when you've got analysts say we have somewhere between 8 to 13 million, depending on which analyst is looking at, between 7% to 5% copper equivalent. So you're going to have some massive intercepts.
That's a big number.
It's a crazy number.
You've got some mines that run on what, 0.3, 0.4% copper?
Yeah, the average grade of a copper mine is 0.4%.
Wow.
So it's a weird one. We put out. Remember, we put out intersection 32 meters of 7%. And I thought before we put it out, oh, this is going to triple the stock. Like this is the one, Yeah. And in fact, before we put it out, it was at 110 meters, and we actually had some stuff above it too. And I said to the, geologist, I was saying, maybe because we had put out, 40 meters of 4%, and it didn't really move the thing. And I thought, well, that's crazy. But I thought, maybe we should put out 130 meters at 2.5%, because I think people freak out over 100 meters of more than 1%. Yeah. I'm saying, well, this is actually better that we don't have to drill 100 meters. We can actually just mine 30 and get 7. But I think people see it and think it's 0.7, because I've never seen anything like 7. So actually stock went down 20%.
I got a phone call from a regulator once asking if we had a typo in the news release.
Yeah.
Because the grade in that particular release was so high.
Yeah, they're just not used to high grade. And we've got an incredibly high grade, discovery, really.
So what's next?
So more of the same. So we'll have more.
Sorry, wrong question. I apologize. You said 100,000 meters. How much is done? How much is left to do?
Yeah, so 35,000 is done. We got about another 10,000 or so to report in the next 2 weeks, which we'll get out. So more assays coming.
Can you tell us here what those results are going to be?
What we've said publicly is that it's going to show the line zone is growing, but we haven't found a second line zone.
And that's consistent with what you've said.
That is consistent. Yep. So 65,000 meters. We're probably about maybe another 10,000 meters into that now, starting because we started in early January.
And winter's not a problem?
No, it's really good for us. So we'll finish probably 40,000 meters by the end of April. Finish the rest of it by the end of the year. So we take a break in May because it's sort of spring break.
It's
and
mushy. I'm assuming that you've done flow-through financing?
We did a flow-through last year for 50 million. So we had 33 million in the bank at the last quarter, and we're well funded. We're in good shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
We see the federal government is being petitioned to change the AMT rules, alternative minimum tax. Do those impact you in any way?
They impact flow-through. So to the extent that they could sort that out, it would be beneficial for flow-through, so that would be good for us. So we're encouraged them to do that. I mean, this is a very productive sector. You put money in this sector, you'll get it back in taxes. Many of the other things that they put money into is not nearly as productive as mining. So right. I'm just saying, yeah, put money where it's productive.
Some things going to the budget don't actually happen. Flow-through is magic.
Flow-through is magic, yeah, it really is.
Anything else we need to know?
Well, I think the big news really was maybe 4 weeks ago when we dropped our MET study, right? So we dropped we've been using 80% recoveries for our copper equivalent. Right. We delivered 95%. Have you ever heard of 95% in your entire life?
No. Not for copper, no.
Yeah, it was 98.9 in copper. So it's a lock cycle test, full run of the mine. So with SGS, so
very reputable.
Yeah. So that meant obviously that's just going to drop to the bottom line. In my mind, that was the last thing we needed to confirm we've got a mine. Okay. Now, I would have thought that would have meant the stock would surge. It did go up to $1.70 or so, and then it's backed off since. And it's like, I don't know what more we got to do.
I've stopped trying to predict the vagueness of the market.
It's crazy. But so the lesson I took from that was that we probably need to give them more proof. So we had been sort of going with the Great Bear and Philo model of put out great results and the analysts will figure it out and the market will figure it out. Maybe that works for the Lundins, but it doesn't work for the Lynches. So I think we're going to step up our PEA, get that out earlier, trying to get that out this fall, which will, I think, evidence a really robust mine scenario with a high IRR, and that'll be undeniable. And then as a result of that, I think we have been talking about moving to New York sooner than later. But that was in anticipation of our stock moving too. Right. And so I think with the stock not moving, we're not in any hurry to consolidate. We think this thing should organically get to where we got to go, and so we'll look to New York in the fall now, after we get our PEA out, after we've got a bunch more exploration drilling, because we think this is going to get a lot bigger. And at some point, I think the market's going to wake up, and it's our job to make it do so. So that's why we come out and do stuff like this.
Keep doing your job, keep delivering the results, and the market will catch up.
Eventually, yeah.
Thank you for your time today.
Peter, thank you so much. Cheers.
Terry Lynch, Power Metallic. Thanks for your time.